What's up, guys? It's Dan from Coin Bureau Trading, back at it again with another crypto market update. Today we've got Pepe, Dogecoin, and Floki, or Floki, however you pronounce it. These three meme coins are three that a lot of people have been watching, and I'm sure you're all wondering, why are they pumping? Why are they not pumping? How high could they go? How low could they go? If this is the kind of content that you enjoy, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ping that notification bell so you don't miss any updates. With that being said, guys, do keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice. It's just my personal analysis of these cryptos. Your analysis might be different, and as I love to say, guys, the more difference of opinion we have, the better traders, the better investors we're all going to become. So with that being said, let's get started here, taking a look at why Pepe has been pumping recently. In my opinion, and I think it's quite clear, it has to do with Elon Musk changing the name of his Twitter/X profile to Kekius Maximus. Of course, I don't want to get too much into the lore there, but basically, so Pepe the Frog, of course, is this popular meme, and basically on these online forums, I think it was mainly 4chan, a lot of people would use the word kek, which I think actually comes from in English you type like ha ha ha, and then like in Spanish some of you will know that it's like J, like J-A-J-A, like ja ja ja, or ha ha ha, because in Spanish it's pronounced, the J is pronounced like H, and apparently in like Korean or Japanese or something, people will write like KKK. So people started using this kek, basically like just like kind of like LOL, like in the comments. And then what basically happened is people realized that kek happens to be the name of an ancient Egyptian frog god, and then on the statue of this ancient Egyptian frog, it looks like people are looking at memes, and then of course that ties in with the Pepe meme, and like everyone was going crazy. This was many years back. I actually remember when all this stuff was being discovered. I was I don't want to say I was in the thick of it, but I was kind of like within the community that was like keeping track of all this stuff, and it was really crazy. But long story short, guys, Elon changed his profile picture to his profile picture to Kek, and he also posted some pictures here. This is an attempt to kind of appease the MAGA community, let's say. Again, like that's a whole other rabbit hole, has to do with like immigration policy and stuff. We're not going to be getting into that here, guys. That's not the channel for that kind of content. But long story short is Elon Musk changed his profile picture to a frog and is posting kind of about Pepe/Kek, which is, again, I just explained the relationship there. Uh, and so now we can finally get on over to the charts, guys. Hope you learned a little bit of internet lore there. As you guys might notice, I haven't changed anything here on the chart since we last covered Pepe. I think it was like 20 days ago or something. The only thing I think I got wrong in retrospect was that the support level was closer to 17, not 19, as I had initially kind of like pointed out there. So it did fall a little bit lower than expected. But besides that, guys, everything else is intact. I still think that Pepe is looking pretty bullish. It was super resilient during this recent downturn, I would argue, compared to other cryptos. It didn't fall by that much, especially compared to other meme coins. So I guess just to bring everyone up to speed who didn't watch that video, we have the starting point of this most recent move here, somewhere around 10. Again, this is not $10, not 10 cents or anything. It's 0.0000, I think 4 zeros. So just do keep that in mind, that all of this is with lots of zeros. I'm not saying $10, not saying 10 cents. It's 0.000010. So with that being said, we have a starting point of 10, resistance at around 24. Of course, the difference there is 14. So we basically just take the resistance, we add the difference, and that gives us a target of 38. And again, that's 0.00000038, or however many zeros there. And of course, the upside there is quite substantial, especially from the current price. You'd basically be looking at more than a 2x. And of course, it is possible that it could fall all the way back down to that starting point. That would be another 60 to 70% decline. But again, even in that case, you're dealing with a risk-reward ratio of something like 2, just off the top of my head. I'm doing all these numbers off the top of my head. But again, guys, just do keep in mind that Pepe does need to get above this resistance level first before we can start thinking about that 38 target. And of course, it's been kind of like working its way back up to that resistance level. I actually do think that resistance level will be hit in the short term, maybe like in the next week or two. Whether it gets above that and goes for the 38 target, that's a whole other thing, and we'll just have to play it by ear. And hopefully I'll be doing another update around that time, just so we can all take a look and see what's going on. And again, guys, just keep in mind, you have to let the prices guide you. You can't like impose your will. Just just take things one step at a time. Try and identify those support and resistance levels, and just wait and see until prices get to those levels, and wait for confirmation before freaking out or getting too excited. With that being said, you guys might have noticed we were using Bybit there. The Coin Bureau deals page is up to $60,000 in rewards. We also have trading fee discounts on Blowfin, OKX, KuCoin, and Binance, which are of course some of the top crypto exchanges. I do suggest taking advantage of those trading fee discounts. They're going to help you out a lot, even if you don't have a lot of money. It doesn't cost you a thing to take advantage of them. You literally just go to the deals page and sign up using that link. And yeah, guys, like during this bull market, it's gonna, especially if you're trading, just frequently with a few $100s, a few $1,000s, it's gonna save you $50, $100. I know this from experience. And of course, the exchange will get a new user, you'll get a trading fee discount, and we get a cut of those fees. And that's how we make money. As I said yesterday, it's an honest business, and I think it's something that I'm probably going to start saying more often because, of course, especially in crypto with all these influencers, there's a lot of questions. What's the agenda behind all this stuff? And for those of you who are wondering, the way that I pick these cryptos is I just kind of go through and I see like, okay, what's popular? What are people talking about? What do people want to hear about? Which charts look interesting, and that's kind of how I decide which cryptos to cover each day. Like, I'm not being paid by Pepe or anything, in case you couldn't tell. So now moving on over to Dogecoin. So this is where things get a little bit interesting. I guess it ties into something I'll be mentioning actually at the end of the video, which is that X has announced that they're going to be integrating payments next year. They didn't specify what payments, but some of you might remember that there was lots of speculation that Dogecoin would be used for payments on X, given Dogecoin's relationship to Elon Musk. I strongly suggest actually checking out our video about Dogecoin on the main channel that we did recently. It'll really give you some more insight as to the relationship between Elon and Dogecoin. It goes back a lot further. I think it goes back as far as 2019. So this is not something that's new. This is something that's been in the works for a long time, and in my opinion, it's kind of orchestrated, which I guess warrants some degree of caution. But in any case, guys, it's interesting that that Dogecoin has been moving with all this news, and of course the Department of Government Efficiency, all that stuff. I guess that brings me over to the charts here, and again, similarly to Pepe, there's nothing really that changed here since we last covered Doge. The only thing was that the support level was also lower than expected, and that's it's gonna happen, guys. It's going to happen from time to time. It fell down to 30 cents. I thought the support would be closer to 35 cents. And of course, it fell down to 30 and even wicked below. But it looks like that level is holding, at least for the time being. And of course, using our handy target math, we can kind of take a look and say, okay, like where this most recent move start? You could somewhere around 20 cents. I would say you could make the case it was a bit lower, somewhere around 15. But I like to be conservative in my analysis. So with that in mind, we have a resistance quite clearly somewhere around 45 cents. That gives us a difference of 25 cents. And then we just add the difference to the resistance, and we get a target of 70 cents, which is not too shabby at all. And of course, from the current price, you'd be looking again at a more than a 2x, with keeping in mind that it could fall all the way back down to the starting point, which would be pretty brutal, and that would be something like a 30% correction. But again, like a 30% to the downside with potential 2x to the upside. Again, you're dealing with a pretty good risk reward ratio there at this stage, in my opinion. But again, as with Pepe, Doge needs to get above this resistance level before we start getting too excited about the 70-cent target. And I do think Doge is probably going to head even higher than that. But clearly it's going to take some time to get there. I was anticipating that it would just chop around and then maybe keep heading higher. But of course, we had this a little bit of an unexpected pullback. So we're going to have to be a little bit patient with Doge. But I do think that 70-cent target is coming. It's probably just going to take a couple of weeks. And I probably should have clarified yesterday, guys, that like this is on the daily chart. This is all these charts that I'm drawing out. Like this is stuff that's going to happen over the next few weeks. It's not going to be the cycle top. It's not going to be, the cycle top, in my opinion, is not going to come for another few months. I guess I'll have to start making that a little bit clearer as well, so that no one gets confused there. Like these are not cycle top targets, guys. This is all kind of short term, medium term, in the next couple days, next couple weeks. We're always on the daily chart here. And of course, with that in mind, we can now turn over to Floki or Floki, whatever you want to call it. This is an interesting one in the sense that some of you guys might have heard that the CFTC had announced, like this U.S. regulator had announced that Floki was a commodity or something like that, which is pretty crazy. Why a regulator would be saying that? I think that is a little bit suspicious in itself. But in Floki's case, what's really interesting is that they're going to be launching basically a game, a crypto game, a play to earn game in Q1 2025, which is, of course, it's starting now. Starts today. Happy New Year. And I do think that that's probably going to take Floki or Floki, again, however you want to pronounce it. It's going to take it a lot higher, and this is basically confirmed in the charts here, which actually look very similar to Pepe, to be honest. Again, we're not dealing with this 14, 17, 26, all this stuff. It's not cents, it's not dollars, it's 0.000. In this case, it's just 3 zeros, not 4 zeros or 5 zeros or whatever. But there's many zeros in front of this, and that's kind of what I'm counting here. So that's, again, not dollars, not cents. It's just 0.0000 and then 14, 17, and all this stuff. With that in mind, Floki right now is trading somewhere around 17. Of course, in my opinion, this is close to the support level. I don't think it's going to go much lower than here. If it does, okay, fine. It's going to be like another 10 to 20% downturn or something like that from there. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think that most of these cryptos are at their local, same like with Pepe and with Doge. I don't think they're going to be going lower. I think this is the local low, and they're going to start heading higher in the coming days and weeks. And of course, the starting point here of this most recent move is somewhere around 14. We have a resistance quite clearly somewhere around 26, and we can even zoom out and get a little bit more confirmation there that there was a lot of resistance around that level in previous months, and the difference there is 12. And of course, the target in that case is also 38 because you just take the resistance and you add the difference. As always, guys, super simple. You don't have to be super complicated with this stuff. As with the Doge, as with Pepe, Floki needs to get above this 26 level to get to that 38 target. And of course, the upside there would be around 46%. But from the current price, you'd be looking at what, like more than a 2x. So if you're holding Floki now, or even accumulating Floki over the last few days, then you know you're probably in for a 2x here in the next couple of weeks. Again, it's probably going to correspond to the launch of that game, and I have no idea when that's going to happen. But I would suspect that it's probably going to happen sometime in February or March, for the simple reason that by the time April comes around, a lot of people start selling, you know, ahead of like a tax season and stuff like that. It's historically around April, May tends to be pretty bearish for crypto, but who knows? Maybe this time will be different. Very dangerous words, but you know, always possible, and you always have to keep an open mind. And with that being said, guys, that brings me to the Coin Bureau Club, of course, which I'm going to be shilling at the end of every single video. That's where we do deep dives into small cap altcoins. You guys might have noticed that here we're analyzing mostly large caps because, of course, those are like the most popular and everything. And of course, they have nice big pumps, nice big dumps. But if you're looking for these, you know, 10x, 100x, like massive gains, you're going to find those only in like small caps and mid caps, and those are the ones that we cover in the Coin Bureau Club. And the way that we choose those altcoins is that we basically run polls every single week. The altcoins in those polls, the way that we choose those is based on our research as well as the research of our members. We kind of put together like really interesting lists and have everyone vote on that. And then we also have a research feed where I'm sharing basically like the same kind of insights I'm sharing at the end of this video. I'm sharing those insights every single day in the research feed of the Coin Bureau team. Huge shout out to Kevin, who does a lot of really good analysis. Like he really gets deep down into the weeds, into these individual projects, into their ecosystems, finding like awesome opportunities of like NFTs and meme coins and like all this really awesome stuff. And some of it is done really well to my understanding. So, you know, kudos to him. Not my cup of tea, but, you know, I'm glad that it's someone's cup of tea because, you know, it's a huge value add. And I'm sure that most of the Coin Bureau Club would agree with me on that. With that being said, of course, we do showcase our personal crypto portfolios as well as the cryptos that we're considering adding to our watch list. We also have an exclusive deals page where you can find huge discounts on like crypto analytics platforms and stuff like that. And we, of course, have a members Discord where you can discuss, where you can basically discuss things with us and with other members, and where I'm doing technical analysis on Bitcoin and Ethereum every single day. And for the record, guys, you know, I just want to kind of put this out there. Not long ago, we've had basically crypto communities kind of come in and like attempt to like manipulate other users in the Discord. You know, they were trying to like shill and do stuff like that, and of course they had to be banned. And so if those of you who are going around and saying, you know, is the Coin Bureau Club right for me, and you see comments about people being banned from the Discord unfairly or stuff like that, that has just never happened. In every single case, it was basically usually a crypto community, like someone from like some small cap crypto project, that they were trying to manipulate other people, trying to get their crypto into the poll, trying to get their crypto to win the poll, stuff like that. They were really trying to manipulate. Thankfully, we've put measures in place to prevent that, but we still don't tolerate any shilling, any scamming, anything like that in the Discord. So if you see people saying, oh, like, don't join it, like you're going to pay and then they're going to ban you, that's not true. It only happens to those who are really trying to manipulate and mess things up. So I'm just going to put that out there, you know, just for my own peace of mind there. And with that being said, guys, that brings me to the alpha, as I was promising at the end of this video. At the end of every video, if you made it this far through my fast talking, all that stuff, then you deserve some extra knowledge in my mind. With that being said, I think that this is a very, very, very underrated announcement here from Linda Yaccarino, who's the CEO of X. You know, some people don't have the highest opinion of her, but you know, let's just set that aside for now. She said in 2025 there's going to be XTV, X Money, Grok, which is of course the AI, and more. But the two big ones I think are XTV and X Money, and this is, you know, in relation to crypto. In my mind, it just says decentralized streaming cryptos and crypto payments. I'm not saying that X is going to integrate with some decentralized streaming crypto, but I do think that this is something that you guys need to kind of keep in mind, is that, you know, up until this point, we've seen a lot of meme coins, a lot of AI agents and stuff like that. But in my opinion, the strongest narratives are stuff that people understand, like your mom and dad would understand, like a decentralized Netflix, right? That falls under this TV category, or like a decentralized PayPal, right? Or like decentralized payments or decentralized savings accounts, right? This is the type of stuff that retail investors understand, and I think think those are the crypto projects that are going to do the best this year. I actually did a post about that in the research feed earlier today. But yeah, guys, like the fact that X is moving into that, I think that's going to set off a massive surge in like these decentralized streaming cryptos, decentralized payments, stablecoin payments, stuff like that. And if you've been keeping up with my analysis, especially from yesterday, you know that I believe that Solana is going to be used for PYUSD for payments, that I believe that Aptos will be used for USDT for payments, and then for USDC, it's probably going to be Base. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if all this AI agent stuff that's going on Base was a way to kind of stress test the layer 2 in preparation for payments, the same way that I think that meme coins were used to stress test Solana in preparation for payments. I know this sounds a little bit crazy, but this is the way that I think, because I don't think that I don't think these things are coincidences. I don't think most of this stuff is organic. I think a lot of it is manipulated. And the moment you start to look at things through that lens, everything in crypto starts to make a lot more sense, and you can make a lot more money. And in that case, yes, I can say that I'm speaking from experience to some extent. You know, I'm not like some millionaire or anything, but the moment that I started thinking about crypto in that sense, that just assuming that everything is manipulated, everything is planned, and you have to try and put yourself in the shoes of the person who's planning it. When you start to think like that, you tend to be a lot more successful in investing. That's just my personal opinion. It's worked well for me. You might disagree entirely, but you know, whatever that's worth, I guess this is a good lesson to kind of start for the new year. With that being said, guys, if you did make it this far, then smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ping that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.